President Biden has nominated Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to replace retiring Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer. She currently sits on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. If confirmed by the Senate, she will be the first black woman to serve on the highest court. President Biden announced his decision with Judge Jackson and Vice President Harris at the White House on Friday. He says seeking bipartisan support will not be easy. For more on this, I want to bring in Alan Jenkins. He's a professor of practice at Harvard Law School. Alan, good to have you with us. So Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson is a graduate of Harvard Law. What does this historic moment mean for you and for our country?
Well, thank you for having me on, Lana. It's incredibly exciting to have a nominee with impeccable qualifications and also a very different set of life experiences and professional experiences than the current justices have. So we are, of course, very proud of her at Harvard Law School, but also excited for what it will mean for the court, the new perspectives that she's going to bring.
Those life experiences she spoke about with President Biden. She talked about her faith in God, and she spoke about her family's history and law enforcement. But she also, I thought, very movingly spoke about a family member who got caught up on the wrong side of the law. She's also making history not only as the first black woman, but if confirmed, she'll also be the first public defender to become a Supreme Court justice. Tell us about those perspectives and how that comes to play when if she's confirmed sitting at that bench.
Well, public defenders are at the front lines of defending the Constitution. That's the way our system was set up. That's what the founders of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, had in mind. And I think her experience of doing that, of upholding or working to uphold the Constitution against often the awesome power of the state in the form of prosecution, is going to really inform her work as well it should. And again, it's a new perspective. Not since Thurgood Marshall was nominated in 1967 have we had someone with significant criminal defense experience as a Supreme Court justice. And to the first part of your question, I think her experience having family members, both people who have been incarcerated and multiple members of her family who have been police officers, I think that also is going to bring a kind of a better rounded set of experiences for her as a candidate than we have typically seen. So I think she's going to be bringing her full self. She's demonstrated over many years on the bench that she's going to be fair and impartial and interpret the facts and the law. And I think she's going to do that with a greater breadth of experiences than we have often seen.
Judge Jackson has had bipartisan support for past confirmations, but she might face scrutiny from GOP senators for her judicial track record that includes ruling against the Trump administration even recently. How difficult will this confirmation process be?
Well, I think it's going to be rancorous because that's the way confirmation processes are right now. But I think her challengers are going to have a very difficult time. She challenging her. She has ruled against the Trump administration, but she's also ruled for the Trump administration. She's ruled against the Obama administration and for the Obama administration. She has ruled for police officers and immunity and against. She has a very balanced record. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to paint her as biased in one direction or another. I think what we're going to see instead is attempts at kind of guilt by association, taking kind of any questionable thing that one of her clients has uttered or one of her supporters has uttered and trying to paint her with that brush.
All right. Professor Alan Jenkins, thank you.
Thank you.